These are additional problems using Gaussian elimination. Okay, here is a 3-variable system that we will solve using matrices. Let's set up our first matrix using the coefficients. And we want that triangle of zeros. So we want 0, 0, and 0. So let's first eliminate that -1. And we can do that by adding the first row to the second row. So let's rewrite the first row and the third row and add these together. We've got -1 plus 1 is 0. 1 plus 3 is 4. 1 plus 2 is 3. And 2 plus 8 gives us 10. Okay, now we will eliminate the 4. We can use this one up here, but we should make that a -4 to cancel out. So let's rewrite the first and second rows. And here we go. -4 times 1 plus 4 is 0. And then -4 times 1 plus -1 is -3. Then we have -4 times 1 is -4 plus 0 will still just be -4. Okay, here's the last one. -4 times 2 is -8. Plus 4 is another -4. Now we get to eliminate the -3 down here, and we need to use this 4. We don't want to use this 1 because if we added the first row with the third row, we'd end up with a non-zero here, and we just made that a 0. We don't want to undo the work we just did. So let's multiply this row by 3 and this row by 4, and we should get our 0. So I'm going to do the work right here, or draw the next matrix right here so they are next to each other. That's 0, 4, 3, and 10. Okay, last row. So we've got 3 times 0 and 4 times 0. That's just going to be 0. 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times -3 is -12, so that's a 0 like we wanted. 3 times 3 is 9. And 4 times -4 is -16, so 9 plus -16 is -7. And last one here, we've got 3 times 10 is 30. 4 times -4 is -16, so that leaves us with 14. So now we almost have row echelon form. We've got our triangle of zeros, but we need leading ones. So what we're going to do is multiply this row by 1/4 and the bottom row by -1/7, and that will give us our leading ones. So I'm going to go back to the top here. I've got 1, 1, 1, 2, 0. This will be 1. This will be 3/4, and then 10/4, which is 5 halves. Last row, 0, 0, 1, and then -2. Okay, now let's write our equation. So this is x plus y plus z equals 2. Y plus 3/4 z equals 5 halves. And then z equals -2. So let's substitute. We know that y plus 3/4 times -2 equals 5 halves. That means that y minus 3/2 equals 5 halves, so y is equal to 8 halves, which is just 4. And then to find x, we've got x plus y minus z, or plus z, which is -2, equals 2. So x must be equal to 0. So our solution is 0 for -2. Okay, here's our second example. We're going to rewrite this as a matrix. So 4, 1, negative 3, 11, 2, negative 3, 2, 9, and 1, 1, 1, negative 3. Okay, let's get our zeros. So let's start by creating a 0 right there. So let's rewrite our first row and our third row. And we can use the first or the third row to eliminate the 2. I think I'm going to use the third and just multiply by negative 2. So we've got negative 2 times 1 plus 2 is 0. Then negative 2 times 1 plus negative 3 is negative 5. Then negative 2 times 1 is negative 2 plus 2. We've got a 0 there. And last one, negative 2 times negative 3 is 6, plus 9 gives us 15. All right, now let's get rid of that 1 over here. So we can rewrite the first and the second equation. And if we multiply the third row by 4 and add it to the first, we'll get a 0. So negative 4 times 1 plus 4 is 0. Negative 4 times 1 plus 1 is negative 3. Negative 4 times 1 minus 3 is negative 7. And last one, we've got negative 4 times negative 3 is 12, plus 11 is 23. Now notice this row here, we've got a negative 5 and a 15. Why don't we just simplify that right now? I'm going to multiply this row by negative 1/5. That's a 5 down there. And that gives us 0, 1, 0, negative 3. That just might be a little easier to work with. And let's get rid of this negative 3 now, and we can do that by multiplying the second row by, not negative 3, but positive 3. Then they will cancel out. So let's leave the first row, leave the second row, and now we've got 3 times 0 plus 0, that's still just 0. 3 times 1 minus 3 is our 0. 3 times 0 minus 7 is negative 7. And last one, 3 times negative 3 is negative 9, plus 23 is 14. Okay, we've got our 3 zeros. We just need leading ones. So let's multiply the top row by 1/4 and the third row by negative 1/7. And we get 4, not 4, try that again. We get 1, 1/4, negative 3/4, and 11/4. This stays the same. Give myself a little more room there. And then the third row, we've got 0, 0, 1, negative 2. Now our matrix is in row echelon form, so we go back to our equations. This is x plus 1/4 y minus 3/4 z equals 11/4. Then y equals negative 3, and z equals negative 2. So this is kind of nice because we already know what y and z are. So let's solve for x. We're going to have x plus 1/4 of negative 3 minus 3/4 of negative 2 should be equal to 11/4. So that's x minus 3/4 plus 6/4 So x equals, let's see, we're going to have 11/4 minus 3/4 is 8/4, which is 2. And then our last step is to write our solution. So that's 2, -3, -2.